Hello everyone, I'm Noel Lennon, and it's time for a solo commentary for another Legends of Awesomeness episode. Today I've picked Bride of Poe, which I don't know if I mentioned this in the Tigress Tale commentary that I did with George a couple of months ago, but this is was actually the first episode I ever watched, and it's I don't know, it's okay. I'll try and save my opinions for later in the episode, but I just want to say straight away, I apologise if I sound nervous, but I've never done a solo commentary before. I've either done them with George or with Ethan, so I'm not really used to just kind of talking to myself out in the open, really. So yeah, Bride of Poe is kind of basically a Valentine's Day special of the show, which is weird because you'd never usually associate a franchise like, well, Kung Fu Panda with romance, to be honest, no matter what some parts of the fan base would tell you. Honestly, in terms of romance stories in this franchise, I'm not really fussed, to be honest. As long as it's a good story and told well and makes sense, then I have no problem with it. I've heard rumours that Kung Fu Panda 3 is going to have a romance story between Jack Black's character Poe and Rebel Wilson's character, who is apparently another panda. Now, I've heard some people complain about this a lot because I don't know why really, but I think it's just because they want Tigress to be the romantic lead, and I'm personally not really. I can see why people would be upset because she is the main female character, but just because she's the main female character, she doesn't have to be that romantic lead. And well, like I said, as long as it's a good story and it makes sense, she could very well. Rebel Wilson's character could very much be Poe's sister, which I think would be pretty nice. Actually, I'm just thinking of it now. Now, I said just a second ago, this was the first episode I ever watched, and as a first episode to watch of this show, I don't know, it kind of, when I first watched it, I liked it, but there were so many. When I say I liked it, I mean as a guilty pleasure thing. I got why it was bad and why a lot of people don't really like it that much, but I got a kind of masochistic pleasure from it. It's kind of a weird thing to say about a TV show like this, but apparently this series hasn't really done that well, because I think it's on hiatus now, because it's just kind of gone like halfway through season 3, and it's kind of, season 3 has taken like 2 long hiatuses. Like season 3 started in, hang on, let me just check quick. I'm pretty sure it was 2013, and it started in 2013 with Shifu's ex. I'm not doing that, by the way. I hate that episode, and it's just kind of stopped twice now, and it's not really going anywhere. So I'm just kind of led to believe that it's taken a hiatus because people just aren't watching it. I don't really know what to feel. I mean, like, someone commented on one of my videos, I think it was Secrets of the Masters, I think, where they said they would prefer cartoons like that, maybe 3 times a year, something like that, with the original cast and that kind of stuff. And I agreed. I would rather have that than 30 episodes a year of Legends of Awesomeness. I don't know, I just don't get any enjoyment from it, and I know it's not made for me, as another person commented and also called me a brony, but that's okay. But good television shouldn't be confined to ages, I think. If it's good, it's good, as simple as that. Well, obviously, something like Breaking Bad, I wouldn't tell an 11-year-old to watch, but you know what I'm getting at. Something like Johnny Bravo or Dexter's Laboratory, the kind of TV that I grew up with, isn't something that is kind of confined to the age group I was when I watched it. I still enjoy it now. My parents definitely thought it was funny, and just kind of got a load of the adult references and that. I realise I'm getting a bit off track from the episode, but I've kind of summed up my thoughts on Legend of Awesomeness in the other ones, and I'm kind of using this as a way to do an update video, as well as kind of talking about my current feelings towards the franchise and this series. I do like these. I don't know if I mentioned this in the other ones. It's been a long time. I'm sorry if I keep saying that, but I do love these little animated kind of like sequences where it's telling a flashback. I do think they're genuinely pretty good most of the time and have a good physical humour in them. As for my current feelings for the franchise, really, I know I big up the first 2 films a lot, as a certain commentator we often have discussions about DreamWorks films and all of that. You know who you are. I don't really want to name names because, well, you know who you are. It doesn't really matter. I still enjoy the films, but my hype for them has kind of died down. Honestly, it's kind of hard to explain. It's not something. It's something that I can totally understand if people don't like it. These films, and especially the series, I can totally understand. I know I think of some things I don't like about it, and just before that person asked me to elaborate, I'll probably do so in the future. Right now, I'm just kind of spitballing, really. I get why people don't like it, but like I said, it's just something that came at the right time in my life when I felt like I needed something to get into, and it just kind of became something new to like. Like at that point, not getting too personal, but I was pretty down and everything, and it was just something colourful, fun, didn't take itself too seriously, and I don't know. I mean, like, I remember it coming out, but I had no interest in it for some reason. It just looked kind of generic to me, and I don't know. It's weird. Like I said, I can totally understand why people wouldn't like it. But for me personally, I love both of the films. I think they're great films. They're just great family films. Actually, getting back to the episode we're watching, getting a bit off track there. This is actually one of the episodes, because I was talking about romance earlier. This is one of the episodes that people kind of look to when they think of that Tigress Poe romance thing. I don't really see it, to be honest. But people will defend it to their deaths. So a romance between a cartoon tiger and panda. I think Angelina Jolie actually said in an interview that was kind of on the cards, and they were kind of hinting towards that in number 2. I don't know the exact quote in the interview, but she said something along the lines of she can see them having little panga babies or something like that. I think that's kind of like the quote or whatever it was. But like, I think since then people have kind of like latched onto it, and like I said, I don't see it. But I won't criticise people who do, because again, it's just your own interpretation of something, and I feel there are good arguments for and against. Though some people do need to kind of lighten up about it on both sides. I think this this story is very culturally quite a Chinese thing. You know, like prearranged marriages. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. My knowledge of Chinese culture isn't exactly pitch perfect, but like this feels very much like a story. This honestly, if I'm really thinking about it, this could have been a good story for number 3, if they did if you want to go the whole Tigress Poe romance route, which, you know, it'll make some people happy. You could do number 3 where he was kind of promised to someone as a child before Lord Shen attacked. And then number 3 is about him meeting this person or whatever, and then it'll kind of, I don't know. Even though I'm studying to be a filmmaker, I'm not like exactly. I need to kind of practice it before kind of making a story like that. But that's just what I could. That's just one of the possibilities I could see for doing the 3rd film. I want to use I'm going to try and make this a regular thing when I look at an episode and just kind of talk about it. Mostly to kind of give updates, answer questions if you have any. So sorry if I don't answer any comments when you comment on a video, anyone really. I'll try and do it in these videos, because these don't take me that long. I'm literally just sitting and watching the episode and talking about it, and I'll kind of answer it when I'm watching it, and just to kind of show you that I still am interested in the franchise, even though I don't talk about it that much anymore. It does still interest me. I'm still hyped for the 3rd film, which I just want to talk about that actually. The release date getting moved to March 2016, like it was originally, before it got moved to December 21st, which is actually my birthday. So that was kind of that would have been a really great gift this year, getting to see Kung Fu Panda 3. It's weird how it kind of worked like that. But it got moved to March because DreamWorks are apparently going through some financial struggles at the minute, which is why they're kind of relying on Kung Fu Panda 3 a bit, and they don't want it to be crushed by Star Wars Episode 7. Which is it's totally reasonable, to be honest. Star Wars is going to do well, no matter how bad it is. The prequels are the greatest example of that. No matter how bad something is, it will still do well. I am looking forward to Star Wars 7, by the way. I don't get the hate that people have towards it, though I understand that the prequels weren't the best. I get that. It's also, I don't think there's any other reason for the move to March rather than financial reasons. Like, they've been working on this since 2012. I don't really. Actually, earlier today there were some images posted by Kung Fu Panda Wiki's Twitter account. It's a great website, by the way, Kung Fu Panda Wiki, if you want to check that out. Also, thanks for retweeting my page. I very, very much appreciate it, and I like being connected to the website and the franchise. It's a great website and a great franchise, so it's kind of an honour, really. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda Wiki is a great website for anything involved in this franchise. Any questions you want answered, there's nice groups, nice forums on there and everything. And I'm such a sellout. And there's I don't know if moving the going back to the release date, I don't know if moving the film's going to improve its quality in any way, but I think honestly it's just there so it doesn't get demolished by Star Wars. To be honest, I want it to do well. Honestly, I do, and I think maybe moving it to December was the best route to go. Honestly, as a fan, I don't want to wait. If it was finished, I'd want it to come out today. Well, tonight rather. It's 10:30 at night. That's life, though. You just have to wait. Good things come to those who wait. I would like to see a trailer or a poster soon. Now, all we've got really is a kind of. I think it's a concept art. Oh no! Sorry, I just got using the wiki now. It's just a made by a fan or something like that. We have nothing really. We kind of got a synopsis, but it's so vague that it might as well not explain anything. Okay, going back to the episode a bit. I've heard complaints people make about Poe in this series that he is irritating, and I have made those complaints myself in, I think it was Way of the Prawn, where he literally couldn't have been more irritating, and me and George had a massive rage out about that because he's just irritating in that episode. But in this, it's another. I think in this he's quite irritating as well. Not like obnoxiously funny, because there are some characters that can be funny while being obnoxious. In this, I think he is honestly just obnoxious. If you do have any suggestions, actually, for episodes you want me to do, then kind of feel free to say that. Say it to me. If I feel like I've got enough to say about it, and then there's any updates about the franchise, then I'll definitely do it. I do have some planned, actually. Like this was the first one I wanted to do because it was the first episode, and it was one I think me and Jordan talked about doing anyway. But I'm doing it now. So I also want to do Shoot the Messenger. I think that was the second episode I watched. Actually, it was that was Bride of Poe, Shoot the Messenger, and the Tigress Tale, and. Yeah, I think that was the first three I watched. I just kind of watched them back to back. It's been like nearly 2 years now. I can't really remember. And I also want to do Kung Fu Daycare because I think that has some really great character development for Tigress in it. Just going back to the episode, one thing I really, really do like about it is Crane's characterisation in it. It's genuinely pretty funny. Had to have him be this kind of like control freak with this wedding planning. That I do think that's legitimately pretty funny. I also like the designs of the costumes in this. I think it looks very oriental and it gives it a sense of kind of it's going to feel weird saying this, but it gives it a kind of realism that it wouldn't have otherwise, and I think it's just designed really well. I also like Lucy as a character. I think for a first appearance of a character, she's pretty good. A bit kind of bipolar at some points, but like, enjoyable nonetheless. I also think that's a nice kind of dilemma for Poe. Really, he has to kind of he has to marry someone because Mr. Ping's an idiot and kind of forced him into it. And he has to kind of give up his title to do it. But he made, like Poe, he made a promise, so he has to do it. What a twist, worthy of M. Night Shyamalan, surely. This is what After Earth should have been. I do like the fact that as a nice kind of visual reference and a nice bit of foreshadowing, his clothes are the exact same colour as what's his name? Junji, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Shifu. You truly are a master. Yeah, it's a nice kind of visual kind of foreshadowing to it. I think that's pretty clever, actually. Although, as a villain, Junji's pretty boring. I would have liked, like, if they were going to go that route of having, like, a quote-unquote dark Master Shifu character, then that would have been pretty interesting, actually. Like, what if there was someone like Shifu who was really snubbed by Master Oogway, then you would... It's kind of like a reflection of Tai Lung, but as a Shifu kind of character. That's pretty interesting, actually. It's just a shame they didn't put any effort into it. Something I do like as well, the way Tigress kind of threatened Junji a minute ago, Kari Walgren really kind of sold that as someone who was legitimately angry that her friend got hurt emotionally. And I think that's a really nice performance by her, especially in this episode. I mean, it's either this or Kung Fu Daycare, which I would say are her best performances as the character. Although nobody's beaten Angelina Jolie. That was a terrible line by Crane there. That "it's a rental" thing, it's so fucking cliche. There's nothing really wrong to being cliche as long as you kind of do it the right way. Like, as long as you go all out and make it fun and enjoyable, there's nothing wrong with being cliche. There's a Rule 34 page somewhere for Junji and Shifu, I'm sure, and I have to sleep later knowing I've just said that and I've given you all nightmares. I'm sorry. That happened to someone I knew once, with a lattice falling on them. It was very funny though. Why didn't she say that? No, never mind, I'm not going to question that. That animation looks so awkward. They're jumping off the buildings. It looks so stiff. It's like that character from Foo Fight. Oh, Charlie Sheen's character when he falls out the sky. We're trying to rescue those was it kittens? I don't know. I haven't seen Foo Fight. I've only seen the JonTron review. Shifu, you could totally get out of that. You could all lift that. Try. I do like this line from Mantis coming up, actually. It's pretty funny. It's pretty great. It's kind of a weird design for... oh, I've forgotten her name already. It Lou shit. I can't remember the name of the love interest in this. No, it's not Tigress. Her brother, I like his design, actually. I don't know why. It's very kind of... The proportions of his body are weird, but I just kind of like how he's designed. Junji's out for blood there, bloody hell. Taking a cue from Connor Kenway from Assassin's Creed 3 there. Something I really don't like about this episode is like the really awkward kind of reuse of that stilt gag they used at the beginning, which wasn't funny then and it isn't funny now. Now, I'm just finishing. The episode's nearly finished, so I'm just gonna kind of wrap up and just start saying what I like and dislike about it. I do like the kind of conflict. It's something a bit new for Kung Fu Panda. Something new for the series anyway, because remember, this is season 2, episode 20, so it hadn't really done anything quite as emotionally complex as this. Okay, I say that as if this is Heavy Rain. Okay, I don't want to say Heavy Rain because that's just going to fuel David Cage's cageness, but you know what I mean. Something that's kind of emotionally complex, and it's not exactly Macbeth or Hamlet, but it gets the job done. It's just nice to see them try doing something a bit different for the characters. Some stuff I really don't like is Junji's kind of appearance as a villain is a bit, I don't know, it's got some nice visual foreshadowing, but I feel like maybe if it was the father was his own character and he was a villain, that would have been pretty cool. Instead of using Junji, I don't know, something like that maybe. I also feel like this maybe would have benefited from being a 2-part episode. Like if the first half was about building up the relationship between Poe and his bride to be, and the second half the first episode ends with the reveal that it's not all quite as it seems, and the second episode kind of deals with the fallout from that. That would have been pretty nice actually. When I made it a more memorable episode. But overall, as a first episode of the series, I wouldn't really use this as a first episode. Maybe something like Tigress Tale as a first episode. That's a terrible... Oh, that line's so cringeworthy. Then Junji fell into the boiling rocks and died. Poe, you could let him drop and get the girl. I'm actually watching a copy of this on YouTube where the pitch, so it's been slowed down slightly, so all the characters have got really deep voices. So when, sorry, I just love this line. So when he said about his muscles being defined and he said he works out, that line was really, really deep. He sounded like Shaft, the 70s detective. Reminds me a lot of the Dragon Ball Z scene where Krillin asks Android 18 whether 17 is her boyfriend, and it turns out to be her brother. Now that's a crossover that everybody wants, obviously. Dragon Ball Z and Kung Fu Panda. Kind of moron would do that. Oh, is that the only reason? Is that the only reason Poe you can't marry her? Not because she doesn't want to. She says that, but she'll never ever be seen again. I would have liked her as a... Actually, this could have been a good first episode, and she could have been a good recurring character. There you go. Hire me, DreamWorks. Anyway, I've been Noel Lennon, and that was Bride of Poe. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I apologise if I sound a bit nervous or a bit kind of rambly. If you have any constructive criticism or just questions or comments you want me to go through, or any suggestions for episodes, please just leave them in the comment section, please. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was entertaining. I'll see you next time for my next commentary. Will most likely be Shoot the Messenger. So I'll see you then, and I've been Noel Lennon.